Hey guys!
What is going on, YouTube? How are you?
Got our wine, because why not?
Why not? So, today we are going to talk about the many places we traveled in 2023.
2023 recap.
Yeah, kind of a recap. And talk about the places we traveled, how we were able to travel to all these places.
And would we do it differently?
Rough. But anyway. So Deja, do you want to talk about the place that we traveled last year, 2023?
Yeah. We traveled probably like 9, 10 out of the 12 months last year.
Yeah.
We went to Oregon, we went to Washington, we went to Florida like twice. We went to Arizona 3 times because we love it there. We should probably move there.
It's our favorite place in the United States. That's definitely our favorite place.
We went to London, we went to New York, we went to Italy, we went to Boston and Maine. It was cool.
And we did all this with the kids. So
every trip.
Yeah, outside of Arizona one time.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Arizona one time with us. That was a date night, 24 hours in Arizona.
Mother's Day.
But yeah, besides that, they went everywhere with us. So they had a fun year last year too. But we always got questions like, how are you able to do this? Like, are you guys going into debt doing this? Like, what's going on? Like, how are you able to travel pretty much every single month?
Which technically, the question is no. No, we're not in debt. Like, even to today, no, we're not in debt.
We're debt free. Well, Deja has some student loans.
Student loans doesn't count.
yeah. Besides that, no debt. No, we don't carry a balance here. But so let's dive into how we were able to do this. So literally from January until basically December, we traveled every month somewhere.
A great time. It was a great time.
We're very strategic in how we travel. We'd like to get a little scrappy with things, but first point, we just throwing it out there. We don't pack a lot. So carry-ons everywhere we go. That's kind of besides the point here, but just want to throw that out there.
Well, that's also like a thing for them to know. Like carry-ons is good, so you don't have to like check in a bag.
Yeah, it does save money too. It makes it easy to travel, especially with kids. But yeah, so we utilize a lot of credit card rewards. And a combination of savings. So yeah, we both have the luxury of, Deja went full-time in 2023, so that definitely, full-time photography, so that helped. And I work remote, so it kind of was easy to travel then and without having to worry about PTO. So yeah, we had 3 cards that we utilized. We used the Capital One Venture card. We had a Marriott Amex.
And just the Amex Platinum. Yeah,
the Amex Platinum. So we used a combination of those 3 and just our savings. So we pretty much only used the credit cards for the rewards until it got a bit out of hand, which we'll touch on later. But yeah, so we pretty much just used the rewards, the bonus, right? So spend $3,000, get 60,000 points, whatever it may be. So each of those cards had their own special bonus that we used to basically pay for a flight or hotel.
Yeah.
And then we used our savings, which we're always good with saving money. So we set aside money every paycheck, whether it be from photography or my commission checks or whatever it may be, to put away specifically for, one, our future, but also fun and travel, stuff like that. So I guess that leads into like, would we do it different if we had to do it again?
Yes. And we're doing it differently this year. We aren't taking as many trips.
Yeah, we definitely toned it down. Mainly because of school, though. Just because 2023, we did have the luxury of our daughter being in daycare still. So there was no requirement for the amount of days she could miss. But now she's in public school, and it gets a bit more difficult. And the law will come get us if we have her miss too many days. But also, I think Deja and I can both agree that like we kind of went a bit overboard with the credit card.
Because even when we weren't traveling, we were like still using it.
Honestly, we used it, and this is the reason why we're cutting out credit cards. So that's the announcement, guys. We're no more credit cards.
Yeah.
We're going only debit from now on. Just because the rewards were great, but it's also easy to overspend.
For sure.
Yeah. It was just swiping. Granted, like that, we never went into debt because we always paid it off at the end of the month. But because we were overspending and we were paying it off every month, we kind of went through our savings a bit. We definitely weren't broke. We replenished it, but we were overspending quite a bit. So we made the decision in December to cut the cards, go back to a debit system. And Deja, you want to talk about how we're planning our travels now?
Yeah, so we're going back to our old method, like when we were in college, so traveling, like starting to travel method. We set money aside, like each paycheck will set money aside. Sometimes we have like
a little envelope.
Yeah, like sometimes we'll have like, we're going to set this much aside. And sometimes we're just like, freak it, we're going to set this much aside. Like, as long as you're setting aside something
towards the goal,
you'll have something.
Yeah.
But normally now we're like setting money aside, and then when we have the money, we'll like buy the ticket, or we'll buy the hotel, or like the car or something. Yeah. And then that way, I mean, even when we're using credit cards too, like we would pay it off, and then by the time our trip came, our trip was, girl math, free.
Not really free, but paid
but it was paid for. Like when you come back home, you don't have to worry about, dang, how are we gonna pay this trip off? Like
it was always like we would never go on a trip, and we will never go on a trip where we're gonna have to worry about paying for it when we get back home. Like by the day we get on the plane, that everything's paid for.
Okay, but side note, let's be honest here. Our favorite trip was Venice. I feel like
Venice was amazing.
Oh, we went to Rhode Island too. But our favorite trip was Venice because like we had all these points on our Marriott card. And so we splurged, and we got to stay at the JW, and we were like living large. Okay, I still think about that hotel all the time.
I think about the hotel every day. But that was one of the perks of credit cards that paying for a hotel like that out of pocket would have been a bit much.
And it was very last minute too, because my mom went. Yeah,
it still would have been worth it if we did pay out of pocket, but
like we had our hotel set.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, "Oh, we're staying at the JW," and we looked and we had enough points. We're like, "Oh, so are we."
So cool. That's definitely a perk of credit cards, but you have to be very disciplined. We weren't. Yeah, we were to an extent.
We're like half disciplined.
Yeah, because we always paid it off. It was never a month where we carried a balance from the prior month. But it makes it really easy to overspend. Just because it's no ending to the swiping. Whereas if you're using a debit card and you're seeing that money come out of your account, it's a little different. It's a little different. So
hate it.
Yeah. Would we do it different? Yes, we would. We are doing it different. First trip of the year. First trip of the year.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's in 2 weeks. And we're going back
to
Florida. Yeah. Quick drive. Well, not quick drive, but taking a little road trip. So that'll be fun. But if you enjoyed the video, got something out of it, feel free to subscribe.
We'll give you more tips and tricks.
Yeah. We're gonna make these pretty regularly. So hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate.